Hello, as some of you know, I've been playing a lot of Elder Scrolls Online recently, and it seems to me that it's a good game to just give a bit of a tour of, so let's see how this goes. I'll introduce you to this character. This is Elizabeth Valentino. She's a variation on a character I played in Skyrim. I think she's going to get a bit more magicka. Oh, I've got 3 skill points. In Skyrim, the Old Merry Dominion had killed her family, and so she was quite supportive of the Empire to try and defend herself against them. In this game, for those of you that don't know, you don't really get quite as much of an option there. Your faction is determined by your race unless you throw money at the problem. So I've decided that rather than the Dominion, let's have a potency improvement please. Rather than the Dominion being responsible for her family's death, it was the Maormer, the Sea Elves, which works quite nicely because there's quite a lot of enemies to kill. And what we're going to do today is we're going to have a little tour of Elden, which is this big tree you see in front of me here. It's actually the capital city of the Bosmer, and we're just going to have a little look around and talk a bit about it. So, that was the stable, by the way, we were standing in.
Greetings.
Greetings to you as well, little guard person. So this is the bottom floor of the tree, and you've got a nice big way shrine in the middle. For those of you that don't play, way shrines are the fast travel system. This is the local area, and you can see there are a couple more way shrines around here that I could go to. I could also go back to the starting zone over here, and it's a nice little system.
Additionally, Elden has many of its lighter facilities, homes, and other elements of the community suspended within the Elden Tree's branches. Isn't that exciting?
There is quite a lot of chatter that goes on here. As you can see, we've got a little vendor area here selling armour and clothes and that sort of thing. And if we have a look at the map, we'll see over this side there's some more interesting bits. You've got your rededication shrines here that you can use to reset your skills, or you can use the shrine tomorrow, which lets you marry another player. Over here, the Wizard's Recourse, a nice little mage vendor.
Greetings.
And up here, you've got a nice little chef's area. Now, it's interesting, obviously, you're not restricted to the Green Pact, which, if you're not familiar, most Bosmer are pure carnivores. They don't eat vegetables. So I always feel a bit weird cooking here, but then again you come over to this vendor.
Since we've had more high elves and Khajiit around, the food has gotten much more varied in Elden.
Because obviously the high elves and the Khajiit are not restricted to the Green Pact. So you can see we've got some melon salad, some cabbage biscuits. Actually, while I'm here, have I got anything that I want to sell? Might sell that and that. As far as the Green Pact goes, my character, I've decided, is trying to stick to it, but with her family's loss at a young age, she's not overly familiar with the finer points of it, and probably isn't seen as a strict adherent to the Pact. She is prepared to use vegetables if someone else has already cut them down, for example, and you find a lot of logs randomly scattered about, and again, that's the Bosmer might look down on that, but she figures, well, somebody else already chopped it down, so I might as well use it. This is the second area of the tree, and this is one of the reasons why I like coming here. You've got all your different vendors, and it's quite open plan. You don't have to keep going in and out of different buildings. So if we come over here, we have a clothing station where you can craft or deconstruct, and you've got a vendor with it. We have a bank here. You've actually got two banks. You can't stay so long. Sort of. You've got a woodworking table here, which again probably doesn't see that much use.
If you've come to work wood, I'd keep your wits about you. The locals stage protests now and again.
As a high elf, she's got no problem using wood, but again, the Bosmer aren't always thrilled by it. But again, you could stand here and craft stuff and deconstruct. We've got a dye station over here if you want to colour your equipment a bit more. So if I wanted to, I could do that.
Hello there.
And I've never really played about with this much, but if you were the sort of person that wants to look a particular colour, you could do. You've got an alchemy station here, very useful. You'll see I've got most, if not all. Ooh, I'm missing one there and there. I wonder what those are. I'll have to come back to it. But you can see I've put a bit of effort into alchemy. Enchanter's station over here, so you can craft and deconstruct runes. Come over this side, you've got another bank. You've also got a bag vendor. Have I got enough money to get an upgrade? Not yet.
If you're trying to rely on wit, I'd say you're halfway there.
And then you've got a blacksmith / weapon vendor area over here. My character primarily uses dual wielding small weapons, but also has a bow ready for plan B. And then up here you have the local mages guild, which if we just quickly go in here, again is rather open plan. Just run up here. It's quite different from...
I'll give it to you.
Oh, shut up. If it weren't for the fact that the guards in this game are invulnerable, I would just stab them. But instead what I might do is have a quick look here. Thank you. Right, stealing the wheat. Yeah. Again, part of my character's backstory: after her parents were killed, she has had to turn to slightly disreputable methods to survive. We might go down to the Outlaws' Refuge, just because I haven't actually been to the Elden Route one yet. I do quite like this place, as opposed to the High Elf area where you start. This is much more open plan, and I think much more interesting to look at, really, rather than just... I mean, the High Elves make some very nice buildings, but this is kind of something a little bit different. And my character spends most of her time here when she's not out questing. Let's go visit the king. So, this is the throne room. Seems to be missing a top, but never mind. Ooh, there's another...
This is ridiculous.
...character. And this would be the king. Camor and Elden. And you can see, again, very open plan. Ooh, seen that. Yeah, lockpick. Ooh, I do need some more fish actually. Yeah, that's gonna be hard to grab.
How much longer must we wait?
As long as it takes. I did think about trying pickpocketing there, but it is quite a dash to, let's go in the Fighters Guild instead. Down to the Outlaws' Refuge with invulnerable guards chasing you if it goes wrong, so, let's not. What we got up here? We've got a player, got a big rock, 2 players. So depending on how well this video is received, I might do some more. There's a couple of towns I find quite interesting in the Daggerfall Covenant, which is where my main player is. Rye, already got lots of rye. I'll take the pocket knife though, and the oversized tavern dice. There's 2 main categories that stolen stuff falls into. Things that are just designed to sell, really, and stuff that might be useful, like the rye and the wheat and all that sort of thing. So, back past the bank again. Let's go down to the Outlaws' Refuge. Because I normally do still go back to the starting zone for that, just because it's very easily accessible. And this is my horse that I use on this character. It's a rather standard one, and if I go over to...
Hold there, Stom.
Oh, someone just got caught by the guards. If I go over to my mounts, I have this fairly bland horse here, but I also have this squaw that my main character rides around. So if I have a quick look at the map, Outlaws' Refuge is over there in the pub. We in no way adhere to stereotypes here. Outside Inn.
Hello there.
Hello. So where is the... Ah, there it is. Loading, loading, loading. Got to keep on loading. Oh, wow, that looks nice. Oh, here's the banker and defence.
My, you've been busy.
Yes, I will sell you that and that and that. I'd rather have that laundered, please.
You can rest assured we'll take.
And then could I perhaps dump some of this junk in the bank? There we go. Now, where's the other exit? Is it down this way, maybe? Every Outlaw's Refuge has 2 exits, and allegedly one of them isn't patrolled by the guards, which makes it a bit easier to sneak in and out. So where are we now? Ah, we're on the other side of the tree. Tell you what, while we're here, let's see if Hirosine's henge is spawned yet. This has been quite an irritating one for me because I've really wanted to get this encounter ticked off, but as you can see it's quite a popular one. Honour is satisfied. Every time I've come to that one, someone's just used it, so it's nice to finally get it. Bit of oak. Like I say, not a strict adherent. We'll leave the mountain flower though, because that's still growing. This is the High Elf Embassy. For some reason they don't want to be involved in living in a tree. And just while it's here, this is what I mean about it's quite nice architecture in its way, but it is rather, you know, you walk through a town, you see a town, whereas if you walk through Elden route you do get a rather interesting little variation on the theme.
Hail.
So I think we'll probably head back. Ooh. Undaunted. These guys are the dungeon running group. As with most of the MMOs I've ever played, I don't really have much to do with this lot because dungeons aren't really my thing. Let's see if we can steal from them though. Monkey puppet. Well, that'll be another 30 gold. It is very easy to get carried away with thieving in this game. If you are caught, you get a bounty for a short period, but if you wait long enough, it drops off and you're fine again, so there's not really any long-term consequences, which I suppose is good in a way, because you don't want to end up essentially ruining your character because you've got into too much trouble with the law. But on the other hand, it is kind of, well, you may as well try thieving because you've very rarely got anything in particular to lose.
I suppose I could use another break.
So yes, that's my quick tour of Elden route, and like I say, if you like this video let me know, and I've got some ideas for some other zones that might be interesting to see, but for now I shall say ta-ta.